Let me quickly talk to you about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit, no personal guarantee, and no collateral. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Mr. Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit with no personal guarantee and no collateral ever, okay? Number 10, we have Action. Our score, 6.5 over 10. So when you are looking for a micro loans, Action is the place to go. Here are the pros and cons. You have low interest micro loans targeted to marginalized business owners, and you have monthly repayments. What about the cons? Their loan offers are limited by region. So when you think about Action, I want you to think about a nonprofit CDFI offering short and medium term installment loans to startups and existing businesses. Okay, this loan products mostly include microloans under $50,000, but there are also some offers for loans as large as $1 million. So Action specializes in lending to minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses. So if you have poor personal credit but need a small startup loan, Action is one of the few reputable online lenders that can help you without screwing you over. It's very important. The only caveat is that loans are offered on a regional basis. So you'll only be able to apply to whichever loans, if any, are available in your area. Okay, it's important. So to qualify for an Action loan, you need a credit score of 575 or 550 in some areas and sufficient cash flow to repay the loan. Startups also need to have less than $3,000 in outstanding debt, a business plan with a 12-month cash flow projection, and a partner referral such as SCORE or SBTC. Number 9, folks, we have here PayPal. So PayPal working capital, our score is 7.5 over 10. So this is great for PayPal sellers. If you're a PayPal seller, that's great. So pros, no credit check. You have easy automatic repayments, quick access to cash. What about the cons? It's only available to PayPal sellers, okay? So PayPal working capital offers short-term loans that function similarly to merchant cash advances. So these loans have no credit score requirements and are good options to consider if you already do business through PayPal. And the same thing happens with the Stripe, or Square Capital. So as with most other short-term lending options, PayPal's working capital does not charge interest. Instead, you are charged a one-time fee that you repay along with the loan, and PayPal will then collect a small percentage of your daily sales until you have repaid the loan and the fee. Okay, so the loan amount is depending on your PayPal seller account performance. This is important. And the application can be easily accessed within your PayPal account, and PayPal does not check your credit at all because everything is strictly based on your PayPal sales. Okay, if you have a PayPal business or Premier account that's been open for at least 3 months and is processing a certain amount of sales, let's say $15,000 a year for business accounts or $20,000 a year for Premier accounts, you can get funded within minutes of accepting a loan offer. This is really good. And PayPal also offers business loans through Loan Builder, and those loans are open to all businesses and not just PayPal sellers. However, businesses need at least 9 months in business to qualify for a Loan Builder loan. Number 8, folks, we have Riviera Finance. Our score, 8 over 10. So with Riviera, what you need to really think about is that you have a great company. The pros, no credit check, no time and business requirements, no revenue requirement. This is really good. And the cons is that this is not suited for B2C businesses. So if you are a B2C business, you will not qualify through Riviera. So they have been doing their invoice factoring services to small businesses, small B2B businesses, and B2G, business to governments companies, since for the last 50 years, okay? So the company is reliable and they have a strong reputation, and their services are also very easy to use with minimal borrower requirements. Okay, so it's not suitable for all business types, so it's something you need to think about. And when you think about Riviera Finance, you want to think about factoring amounts. So those are factoring amounts, and you're thinking about maximum amount of $10 million. So invoice factoring is basically the purchase of accounts receivable for immediate cash, and it gives the business the power to ensure growth without diluting equity or incurring debts. So after invoices are submitted and verified, they are funded by Riviera Finance within 24 hours. Okay, and how does the factoring work? Basically, how does it work? Riviera Finance will establish a credit limits on the customers you submit for invoice factoring. So you deliver your products or service as usual. You send your invoices directly to Riviera. They verify the product was received or service performed. You receive your cash from Riviera, and they will forward your invoices to your customers, and they pay Riviera Finance directly. Number 7, we have Fundbox. Our score, 8.5 over 10. This is great for short-term loans. Again, folks, we are speaking about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit with no collateral and no personal guarantee. So with Fundbox, you have a simple application, next day funding, no draw fee, prepayment fee, origination fee, or maintenance fees. And the only cons is that Fundbox does not accept very poor credit or brand new businesses. This is important, okay? So Fundbox has 2 convenient lending products for newer businesses with subprime credit. They have revolving lines of credit and term loans. Though these short-term loans are not a good fit if your credit is completely trashed. Let's say you are around 300 or 350, that's really not good. Or your business is not making money yet. So Fundbox loans are quite accessible to businesses that have 6 months under their belt and are already bringing in some revenue, okay? Businesses will receive a funding decision within minutes of submitting your application, and funds can arrive in your account as soon as the next business day. So line of credit, those are revolving business line of credit. So you have a maximum amount of $150,000. You can repay over 12 or 24 weeks. And your available credit goes back up as you pay. There's no prepayment penalty. And term loans, those are lump sum that you can get up to $150,000. You repay over 24 or 52 weeks. Okay, it's important. No origination fee, no prepayment penalty. So with the minimum credit score of 600 and a 6-month minimum time in business, Fundbox is kind of suitable for both startups and subprime credit borrowers. So your business does need to be bringing at least $100,000 annually, making Fundbox slightly easier to qualify for than Bluevine, okay? And very poor credit applicant will not be approved. So this is important. Number 6, folks, we have here OnDeck. Our score, 8.5 over 10. So when you think about OnDeck, you want to think about a company that is constantly that's great for loyalty benefits, and the lender is constantly improving. They can fund loans of up to $100,000 if you complete the checkout process by if you complete the checkout process by 10:30 a.m. Eastern. They will get you the money within 24 hours. Okay, and basically the minimum credit score 600, time in business 1 year, revenue requirements $100,000. That's gross revenue. Okay, it's important, and you have to understand that there are some pros and cons. But let me give you some restrictions. So, OnDeck does not lend to businesses in Nevada, North Dakota, and South Dakota. They don't serve the following industries: adult entertainments, drug dispensaries, firearms vendors, government, nonprofit, public administration, and civic organizations. If you are in fortune telling, they will not fund you. If you are doing a lottery business, they will not fund you. If you have a mining service business, an MSB, they will not fund you. So lines of credit, loan amounts of $6,000 to $100,000, 12-month repayment term, reset after each withdrawal. Term loans, you have loan amounts of $5,000 to $250,000, repayment terms of up to 18 months. So the pros and cons here: pros, same-day funding, loyalty benefits, prepayment benefits. The cons, you have high APR starting around 35%. Okay, and they require at least 1 year in business, and they are limited in states and industries. Number 5, folks, we have here Credibly. Our score 9 over 10. This is great for fast approvals and funding. So if you're looking for speedy approvals and funding, Credibly's working capital loan can be approved and funded in as little as 1 business day. So minimum credit requirements include a credit score of 500 and 6 months in business. Okay, so this is really good. So the maximum loan size $250,000, anticipated term length 18 or 24 months. Interest rates starts at 9.99%. You have automatic payments weekly. This is really good. And what are the pros and cons here? Pros, so you can have loan approval in 24 hours. This is really good. They only require a credit score of 500. That's the minimum. and they have a low time in business, 6 months. So this is really really good. What about the cons? They only have terms up to 18 months, but in some cases they might extend it to 24 months. And you have a 2.5% origination fee, and they require $15,000 in monthly bank deposits. It's important to know. Number 4, folks, we have Bluevine. Our score 9/10. So this is best for line of credit. Again, we are speaking about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit, no personal guarantee, and no collateral. So basically, with Bluevine, you have pros and cons. Pros, you have on-demand access to funds, same-day funding, and they serve both B2B and B2C companies. Okay, this is really good. And the only drawback in our view is that they do not accept credit scores that are below 600. But if you have a credit score below 600, you have to have enough money in the bank. In other words, they could accept you for 550 if you can show them strong financial statements. This is important. And one thing you need to understand with Bluevine is that they have credit lines up to $250,000, rates as low as 4.8%. Okay, it's important to know, and decisions as fast as 5 minutes. It's important, and we love Bluevine. This is one of our favorite online lenders in the small business lending space. Okay, and it's kind of good. And what you need to get started: minimum qualifications, 600 plus FICO, or in some cases 550, 6 months in business, $10,000 in monthly revenue. Business is operating or incorporated as in any eligible U.S. states. And what you need to apply: they need basic details about you and your business, bank connections, or year-to-date bank statements. Okay, remember the minimum is 550 or 600 minimum FICO score. Number 3, folks, we have Fora Financial. Fora Financial, our score 9.5/10. This is best for high loan amounts with lenient requirements. Okay, so if you're looking for a bad credit business loan with lenient requirements for credit and time in business, you want to look into Fora Financial. So this is a small business lender that only requires a minimum credit score of 500 and 6 months in business to apply. This is really good, and you can get loans up to $750,000. And there's no restriction on the use of the business term loan. This is really good. And you also have the option to get merchant cash advances of up to $500,000. However, terms only go up to 15 months, and funding is not as fast as it could be with a different lender. So Fora Financial, 500 minimum FICO score, term in business, 6 months. That's the time in business. Revenue requirements, $12,000 monthly gross sales. Okay, $500,000 to $750,000. That's the working capital loan amount, and you can get the money in as little as 72 hours. And so I want to talk to you. So one thing you need to know is you have working capital from 5K to 750K. No restrictions on use. 24-hour approval. In some cases, you have free, no obligation quote. Terms up to 15 months or 18 months. You have early payoff discount. No collateral required. No personal guarantee. Approval not solely credit based. So they look at other stuff also to approve you. What are the pros and cons here? They only require 6 months in business, no restrictions on how you can use the money, no PG required. The cons, they only have terms up to 18 or 15 months, and funding may take 1 day to 3 days. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. We're also having a conversation about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit and no personal guarantee, no collateral. Number 2, we have a National Business Capital. Our score 9.5/10. This is great if you're looking for a lender with flexible borrower requirements. The pros and cons here. Pros: no credit check for certain financing products if you meet other requirements. They have a relaxed time in business and revenue requirements if your credit is above 650, and they lend to marijuana industries. And this is kind of good. And if you have at least 1 year in business, okay. And the cons: rates can be very high. So when you think about National Business Capital, I want you to think about an online lending marketplace with more than 75 lenders and a business model similar to Lendios. So basically, this is just a marketplace lender, okay? So interested borrowers can choose from various types of business financing, including traditional small business loans, lines of credit, equipment financing, and SBA loans. And rates can be on the high side, but the financing is fast and easy to qualify for, even if you are a startup with bad credit. because again, this is a marketplace, this is a shopping mall for loans. So you're going to have a lender who's going to like your business model and like your risk profile to give you the loan that you need. So you need 6 months in business, $120,000 in annual revenue. That's projected or actual, okay, and no minimum credit score. So they have financing options for businesses with excellent and bad credit. Okay, so loan amounts depending on the business revenue, and they can go all the way to $10 million. Remember, as a startup, you can still qualify. However, if you have a great score, let's say 650 and up, you may be able to qualify for financing at a great rate. Number one, the best of the best in our view here, we have Lendio. Our score 10 over 10. So Lendio is great in our view for equipment financing, but they're also great for other loans, okay? Not collateralized loans, just personal loans. So what are the pros and cons here? You save time by sending your application to multiple lenders at once. Again, Lendio is also a marketplace lender. They will help you figure out which financing product is best for your needs. They'll let you compare different loan offers so you can choose the best one. Well, what are the cons here? No, not all lenders in Lendio's network accept bad credit applicants. So loan amounts here, $500,000 to $750,000. Loan term up to 25 years. The time to funds as soon as 2 to 4 weeks. And in some cases, it could be faster though, but it depends on the lender. And interest rate as little as 0 to 17%. So minimum credit score, 680 or 550 if you have a strong cash position or are in a fast growing sector. The time in business, 6 months. Revenue, said it before, $10,000 per month. Okay, so when you think about Lendio, I want you to think about an easy-to-use online loan matchmaking service that lets you compare and apply to multiple business loans in just 15 minutes and gets funded as soon as 24 hours. And even if you have a credit score as low as 550, you can likely find some financing options through Lendio. Right? This is important. And I've said before that the time to funds can be as soon as 2 to 4 weeks. It's actually as soon as 2 to 4 hours. Sometimes it can be that fast. Okay, very, very important. Let me give you an overview here, folks. So when we are talking about the top 10 startup business loans, you need to understand for bad credit and no collateral, no PG. It's important to understand that there are alternatives for borrowers with bad credit. Okay, you need to understand that you can apply for a loan that's true. You can try to find out if the lender on this list accepts you. That's true. But you can also find some alternatives for those. If you have a money problem, if you have liquidity issues, you can think about small business credit cards. This could be an option. You also have corporate cards. So for new businesses registered as corporation, a corporate card is another type of business credit card that can be used to pay for business expenses. Since you're applying as a corporation, the card issuer will not check your personal credit. Okay, so the caveat is that you will need a high balance in your corporate bank account. For example, Amex's corporate card program for startups requires a minimum 1 million bank account balance. But you have other cards. You have Divi, you have Brex, and you have also Ramp. They kind of have a similar business model, but you don't need to have $1 million in bank account balance to qualify for Ramp, Divi, or Brex. They have a lower requirements. Okay. Also think about small business grants. Okay. So a startup business loan for bad credit is not the only option. Think about grant. And grant is basically free money, but you have to work for it. You need to prove that you have a solid business process in place, but it is an alternative. Okay. And you can also try crowdfunding. So you have sites like Kiva, okay, that help you in terms of getting the money you need without credit check. And you also need to understand that if you want to get a startup loan with bad credit, do not waste your time applying for loans that you don't meet the minimum qualifications for. This is why you want to listen to shows like this, or you want to read more on the internet about those loans before you apply. So when it comes to loans you do meet the minimum requirements for, you want to apply for multiple loans and then compare your offers to choose the best one. There's no risk in getting pre-approved, as this only requires a soft credit check, which does not impact your credit score. Okay, so if you want to read more, if you want to learn more about this process, please check out this video about our loan evaluation approach video. And we basically have a strict method on this show when it comes to categorizing, reviewing, and listing loans. And so check this out. All right, folks, let's recap today's conversation. I was talking to you about the top 10 startup business loans for bad credit, no personal guarantee, and no collateral. Number one, Lendio, 10 over 10. Number two, we have National Business Capital, 9.5 over 10. Number three, we have Fora Financial, 9.5 over 10. Number four, we have Bluevine, 9 over 10. Number five, we have Credibly, 9 over 10. Number six, we have OnDeck, 8.5 over 10. Number seven, we have Fundbox, 8.5 over 10. Number eight, we have Riviera Finance, 8 over 10. And number nine, we have PayPal Working Capital, 7.5 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have Accion, 6.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.